So one of our commentators said that the elections split the country, but the rugby brought it back together again. What are your thoughts?
Yes, and we're all rejoicing that our team were victorious, so it's fantastic.
Where were you on the night of the election?
I was at home. I was in Waikato. I was in the small settlement town of Rangiriri. I went down at about 7 o'clock to be with the Maipi family. Timi Maipi, the grandfather of Hana, was my mentor. And so I went down and had a wonderful night.
But where were you, Metiria?
I was in the TVNZ studio
Yeah.
on election night, watching the results come in as they did, and super stoked about the Green result and Paati Māori result. Really concerned now about the shape of the next government, for sure. It's like it's going to be a hard 3 years, but it doesn't have to be longer than that. If Labour and the Greens and Te Pāti Māori get it together to work together better, we only need to have this government for one term. You know, there's no rules that say they have to do more than that.
I share the same view. This government's time should be short-lived.
What does working together look like? What would have to be the outcome of that? I mean, what do they have to do?
I think that that at the heart of it, is the well-being of our families, and the National Party, alongside ACT, are bad for Māori. They promise little, and by record they'll deliver little. And so all I can see is doom, gloom and despair for our people.
How about you, Metiria?
I think now's the time for those three parties, Labour, Greens and Te Pāti Māori, to refocus. It's going to be really hard for whānau Māori, and so iwi Māori will need to step up and provide some protection and support for whānau Māori, who are going to bear the brunt of the national government's poor policy and kind of aggressive, hostile policy for Māori.
I think
but they will, won't they?
Yeah. You know, the clear example is the race baiting prior to the election. So, you know, it'll provide the kind of impetus that our people need in order for us to come together. And so the clear message to the left is you've got to work together, because this government should be short-lived and with a minimum term.
Yeah.
So Metiria, when I interviewed James Shaw, one of the things I think that resonated with our viewers was the fact that he felt that the treaty was very much an enabler. He felt that it was a good thing. Yeah. He didn't feel threatened by it. And we need to hear more from our political leaders, that sort of a message.
Yeah, absolutely we do. And that's the message that is coming from lots of our young Pākehā people, right? So I know this from the work I've done at the university, is that young people, Pākehā people in this country, really believe that too. They want to see really good, treaty consistent, tiriti-led leadership for them as much as we do for rangatahi Māori. And so Labour, Greens and Te Pāti Māori have a unique opportunity now to focus in on those issues. It will require Labour to step back from their kind of old school form of campaigning, their old school attitude towards electorates, for example, to be able to actually make some real concessions on working together with these other parties who actually have the future in their hands. I mean, I think that's what we saw with the Greens and Te Pāti Māori, is they hold the future, and Labour really needs to get on board that bus.
So, Tuku, as a former New Zealand First MP who enjoyed some time there under Winston Peters, how do you think that's going to play out?
Oh, I think it's going to be chaotic. I think that actually, the world has passed people like Winston by. It's an aberration. I can't believe that our people have been bold enough to push him back into Parliament. He should be out there, enjoying retirement.
When you say our people, who are you talking about?
I think the people across this country, whoever put him in there should, he should be out there in retirement.
He would take great umbrage at that. He would say you're ageist.
Yeah, and look, retirement is a good thing. because there are some skills that he could use for the wider community, but not in Parliament. And I just see that he's, he's a relic from the past.
Well, he's still got his foot in the door, hasn't he, Metiria?
Yeah, but he's sanding the wheels of the National Act government, whatever that looks like, and that's good. He's going to make it more difficult for them. Like, this is, if there was going to be a national government, this is my preferred scenario, that the three of them have to figure out how to work together, because I don't think it's going to be nice for any of them.
All I see is chaos, and that Winston will always have his own agenda. And at the end, it's what he can extract from any negotiation. So I can see the next 3 years being a chaotic term in government for ACT, New Zealand First, and the National Party.
The Māori seats have always been up for grabs, because you went in 1996,
Yep.
the Type 5, and now they've swung. Labor's held on to a couple of them. What message does that send out to political parties?
I think that the face of tomorrow is represented like people like Hannah Rapiti, Maipi Clark, and she has a tough job to try and fulfil the legacy left by Nanaia Mahuta, who has done a fantastic job as a senior cabinet minister. The Māori wards in council, affordable water, all of those key and significant milestones has been her legacy that she's left for Hana. But here's the drill. You have thousands, tens of thousands of kohanga graduates, kura graduates, who have some amazing skills. And over the next 3 years, you're going to see more people like Hana.
Metiria, it's a brutal place.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes, I do.
You know that. So, I mean, how is it going to be for younger, new candidates coming into Parliament?
It's going to be really exciting at first, and they're going to feel really well supported by their own people and by the people around them and the caucuses. It's only going to take a couple of years, maybe second year, before they really start to feel the pressure of trying to make some really hard decisions and finding themselves under constant attack. So we're going to have to be really careful to protect them. It's already been the case for Hana and during the campaign, and I think that's going to get worse. So there's going to be need for more security to support these new young ones and the new Maori MPs in particular. But again, I keep coming back to this point. But if the Maori MPs across the Greens, bringing in a whole new bunch as well, and Te Pāti Māori, and particularly the new ones from Labour, like Kushla, really start to think strategically about how to support each other from the beginning, like immediately, then they've got a much better chance of being able to pull together and make some really good decisions for the next lot of campaigns and for their people and support each other. I think that new generation really has an opportunity here, and they just mustn't waste it.
I think the key message is that actually their respective iwi have to swing behind them.
Yeah.
Their hapu got to swing behind them. And I think that that's the new element that we will see over the next 3 years. Iwi got to galvanise behind their people. Labour, Greens, Paati Māori. But one thing's for sure is that there are people like Nanaia out there who can be of some huge help in support. Metiria, all of us who have been in that place, it's a cauldron, It's a dog-eat-dog war room at times. And for really nice people like Hana, it's going to be a huge wake-up call. But we've got to swing behind these people.
We do.
We're here. We've got to say to them that we care. And so we've got to be there for them.
Kia
And the
ora.
ups and the downs.
Kia ora. Well, you kind of make me feel a bit more positive now.
Good.
Lovely to talk to both of you. Yeah, kia ora.
Tēnā wē. Kia ora.